go ahead and show you a couple different techniques with the dry finishing shear. When I'm doing a cut of the exterior length, I can pull my comb down and kind of see where the length is that I want to cut, and I can just go right in with my dry finish shear and even up all of this length.
Well, that's just standard point cutting.
And this is just standard point cutting, yeah. But I can see where it's uneven, and so I can go in and just point cut all that out and create like a straight line. And then she looks pretty good throughout her perimeter here. But right in here, it looks like it's a little heavier, so what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna go in and grab a section and then point cut, pulling out as I do it.
And the pulling out, what does that accomplish for you?
Pulling it, as I pull it out and cut, it cuts the different hairs at different lengths and different variances, so it gives you a real broken up line. And I'm just pulling out just slightly. Sometimes you take another edge finishing way to do that kind of hair cutting is also to fan the hair out. Fan it like that, and then as you trim, you pull away. And you can really break up a corner that way without creating a blunt edge. So I'll do that just on her edges all the way around. So I start in the center and then I pull to the 45-degree angle down, create my fan, and then pull out with my cutting. So I'm point cutting it. I'm not point cutting too deep, and also it matters what comb teeth you use. I can do a tighter comb teeth and get a bit of a tighter fan. And then I just kind of grab and pull as I'm cut, and I'm breaking up that edge. And so when it lays on the bottom, it lays softer. I wouldn't do this with fine hair. Fine hair, I would do just a, your hair's static. Okay, so then I'm gonna pull that down, fan it out, and pull out as I cut to create pieciness. And then I pull to the section right behind the ear, and that's my last section in the back on this side. And then I'm going to go back over to this side and go to this side of the crown. And then pull my length down to a 45-degree angle, and I can see where it needs to be broken up. Right here it doesn't, obviously. And then drop that down. Pick up this side. And this is the last side behind the ear. And then fan it out and break up that corner. Then what I'm going to do is some interior texturization that will allow for the long thickness of this section to be broken up so that when she curls it or flat irons it, it'll be piecier. So the way I'm going to do that is take a section that's about a 1/4 inch widthwise, and then I'm going to hold on to it and grab it with my fingers and work from inside out. And I just pinch and tuck as I go along. So I pick just sort of random sections, but at the same time have a game plan. And I can see, that's that section. This section I can do a little bit differently.
And what does the dry finish shear do that a regular shear wouldn't do in this particular application?
It doesn't push the hair, so it gives me a good cut, a solid cut. Here I go in the middle up that section, and then I can even see where I was at, and I can go in and and it's just a nice smooth solid cut, and it's taking out the amount of hair that I need and leaving me with. So that's what you look for in a dry finish shear. You don't want it to tear the hair, and you want it to cut with the back of the shear, which is this part, very cleanly. So I can just move it along and go all the way through. And then I can take that section and move it out of the way and get into the next section that's right under that one. And the same thing, move it right through the hair. So you want your dry finish shear to move through the hair very easily. You don't want to tug, and you should be able to just pinch and tuck and work it all the way through. And then I can already see a difference in how the hair wants to lay on this side, whereas this side's much heavier. So this is giving me lighter, and your client will be able to feel the difference too when they feel it. Here's another way you can look at that. That's a big long section. I can go right in there, and you want to keep tight that same section so that you know where you've been, where you're going. So I've got in there. I'm going to drop that, and now I'm going to do from the crown, top of the crown to bottom of the crown. And pinch and talk through, and then down this way. And this works especially well, that technique works especially well with curly hair. And it's just breaking all of that weight up so that she can have more movement to her hair. So I can see where I've already done some work. I can drop that out, come over here, and I can see where it needs more because I haven't hit that yet. So again, I'm taking it about probably 4 or 5 inches from the scalp. I don't even go all the way to the end. I actually never go all the way to the end. And I just feel that under, and then do this side, pull that away, drop it, see if I need any more in that section, which is right here. It doesn't feel like I do need any more in that section. So I'm going to take this right behind the ear, and here I'm going to hold on to the hair, and I'm going to let it drop, and then I'm going to go in and do a pinch and talk away, holding the hair very taut. And then I can see I did through that top section. I'm going to do another one through this bottom of this section that I'm holding. And then that's plenty. You really don't need to go crazy when you're doing interior texturization, especially when you're doing it from mid-shaft. And then another really good usage of the Musashi shear, which I will show you in the crown area, is you can take a big piece of hair like this, and as long as you're holding it nice and taut and you fan it out, you can break that up too. And I like to do this in the crown just because when they curl it, it pops that up nicely and gives them definition. And so that when she curls it, it's going to come to here, and so she'll see a curl and a difference from this length to this length. But with her one length hair that's straight, you can just see how it's all broken up now, and there's no definite line of where it starts and stops. But I know there's a texturization in there that's making her hair work better for her. On the sides, I always separate front to back, especially with long hair, because I don't want a section that has where the ear section raises up. So this is part of that back section, which I've already worked on. This is part of the front section, and all I'm going to do here is even her out from her part. You can see that there's a little bit of a longer piece and a short piece right through here. So I'm going to not cut past the second knuckle, match it to that shortest piece, and point cut out so that she doesn't feel like there's a whole lot different, but now it's way more even. And you can see where that's very fine. I'm going to point cut that stuff out. And again, I'm kind of pulling back, and now we've got an even line there. Okay, now with this front section, I'm always really careful just because this is where they want to be able to pull hair back, and they need some interest for the front of the face. So what I like to do here is I'm going to just take right at from about 3 inches off of the hairline to like right in front of the ear. And I'm just gonna take that with the finer tines of my comb and pull up and then just break it up by deep point cutting. See, and I like these shears because they are very precise in their cutting. So I'm not grabbing or pulling any other hairs from any other section. And now I'm gonna pull that through again, see if I need some point, a little bit of lightening up right here. And then pull through one more time, this time a little bit further back into the crown to the front of the ear. And I'm pulling up and dropping out all of this stuff, and that's going to protect my line in the front, while at the same time I can break this up. And I also like going in and seeing, using the light to kind of see what's going on and where you're going to see some space. And that's really all I need to do for that front section, because I don't want to take too much out. And then back over here to this section, this is, she parts her hair on that left side, so there's going to be more hair on this side. So I make sure to separate out front to back. Look for where that happens naturally at the ear. And then that's a big section to work with, so I'm going to keep this, drop out that. And then I can see where there's a disconnect here, so I'm just going to break that up while creating a new line. And then I'm going to go back in and break it up a bit. Being careful not to cut myself. Fan and break that out. And then I even drop it down and hold it away so I don't recut. That's the one thing you want to make sure you don't do when you're not sectioning off. So there's my corner. I'm going to slide cut and pull out while I do that. And now I have an unstraight straight edge. Same thing with this one. And one last side here. And then I can come down here and look and see what I've done. And I'm pretty happy with that. It all looks like it's gonna blend nicely. So then I'm gonna go in and I take triangular sections. So here's a triangular section. So it's, the wider part of the triangle is here, and this skinny, the point is here. And I'm pulled off of the hairline. So I'm gonna bring that up, and then here I just go some interior texturization that way. Let it drop out a little bit more, pinch and talk, and I have a good amount of hair. Another triangular section right behind that first one, and then midway through the shaft, and I just take out that triangle corner. Now I'm dealing with a wider piece here, so I go right into the middle, pinch and tuck that out. And that is probably all the texturization I need in the front, because we're just making it piecey. I can feel though, that right here above the ear is a little bit thick because it's coming off of this crown area that we haven't done anything to. So I make a big triangular section. There's her part, there's the bottom of the triangle, and then I angle in. Here's the point of the triangle. And then I'm gonna go into the mid shaft, pinch and tuck it up, letting it drop as it goes. And I'm gonna drop that out. Pinch and tuck from midsection out. And drop that out. And then one more time. And then I just wiggle the hair. So, and we flat ironed her hair before I started the interior texturization cutting. So what you can do with this is, and there's a lot of hair coming off. So, and you want to warn them the first time that you do it. The first time I do something like this, I actually kind of take the hair and just throw it behind me so that they don't get freaked out. And by the time you do it for them again, they want to feel that less bulkiness. They want to see that long hair, pieces of long hair dropping. But the first time, it's a little scary for everybody involved. So you have to just be sensitive to that, and let them learn to trust you. And other than that, I think we're all nice and broken up. And if she were to put some product in here, it would be nice and piecey. And if she were to curl it, it would be, her curls would probably land, like I said before, right up about mid shaft. And she'd have some beautiful curl all the way down from the lightness of the interior texturization.